Awesome the way that's turning out, eh? It's a little bit difficult to get at this guy and land him and every other thing. Really turn that off for the actual fish. Sometimes I fish my entire time here waiting for the last hour of sunlight so I can just fish this run. And it's right where the trail pops out, very close access to the car, and it always seems to turn on at this time of day. And by this time of day, changes, obviously, throughout the year. So right now it's only about 5:30, 5:40. What time is it? 5:38. There you go. 5:40. I was pretty darn close. And there's maybe another 45 minutes of sunlight, although it's been pretty overcast for a while. And fish that were, well, I mean, already was in here 4 hours ago and got one fish, saw another fish. Father and son were down here about an hour and a half ago. The son was casting spinners, got nothing. But now I've been here five minutes. I already had one little fish on, one fight on for a brief period of time, and I saw another swirl down at the bottom of the pool. This is my first time with the Tenkara down here. For years I used a 4-weight until I built a 2-weight, and that's basically what I use down here. There's the odd fish that makes the 2-weight kind of work hard. And this is my first time with a Tenkara. Water's high for fall. Usually it's pretty a lot more subdued, a little easier to fish. But whether they have no new protocols up at the dam about how much water they have through, or whether this has been a high water year for this system, I don't know. But this is sort of spring like water levels. The advantages of the Tenkara is simple. You have to stock more in terms of you can't compensate with a longer cast. You must get close enough to your holes you're trying to get to. The furled leader that we use is a whole lot more supple than any fly line. And it's like a 13-foot leader and then another 9-foot fluorocarbon I'm using today, leader on top of that. So that's the maximum you can cast. And it's also the minimum, unfortunately, sometimes. The rod I'm using is what they call a triple, which means it has 3 lengths. Maximum length is 12.9, but it can also be 11.10 and 10.8. So the two biggest obstacles with the Tenkara, number one is landing fish. You saw when I'm landing fish that I can't make the line any shorter, and that I end up having to hand line in the last 6 feet or so. You saw that I lost one fish, but I could tell the way the hook came out that had more to do with the hook not really being in the fish more than it had to do with stick handling around the Tenkara line management thing. The other downside is going from hole to hole. If I just was able to find a river that I could just walk up and down, it's not that big a deal. But when it's time to, go through a bush someplace, it's really a big deal to break it down and get the leader off just to walk, say, 6 feet through some bush. And so then you end up having to kind of wrap it around the rod and wind it up in your hand. And so if you don't do that, if you just kind of leave that step out, then you almost always end up with it getting tangled up in some kind of weed, some kind of tree, some kind of branch. Another advantage of the Tenkara is you're not likely to get yourself in trouble. So, for instance, if I had my 2-weight down here, there's that corner over there. You can see it where the 2 parts of the tree are. and sort of flat there, and I saw a fish swirl down there. So if I had my 2-weight, I would not be fishing this water right in front of me and really trying to work it over and cover the water and get the fly in different spots and having it pop out in different angles. In the pool, I'd be trying to make hero casts down there, which would have two issues. One, whatever's going on behind me, you could end up with your fair share in the trees. The other one is, that's a long cast, and that would be a big deal to get down there with a 2-weight. But let's say I could do it, and let's say I hook the fish, then I got to try and fight a fish with that much line out on a 2-weight rod that's only like 5 feet long. I might do more I might just spook the fish instead and not be able to land it. Speaking of, I just lost a fly on that beautiful log I'm trying to work on, so I'm just going to cast beyond that log to the fish I was talking about and see if I can get that guy in the corner there, or maybe a surprise from somebody else who's in the area somewhere. There we go. Again, I don't know which fish that was, but you saw where I cast. I don't know if you saw where I cast it. Anyways, now here's the fun part. I can give a play-by-play on the fun part. I'm going to try and get right up to this log here, and I also want to try and not fall. Maybe like right at this log to try and minimize Alright, now I'm no longer using the rod, and I am just hand lining this brown trout in. I have to figure out a better way of dealing with this. There you go. And he stuck himself good, didn't he, buddy? There we go. Don't know if there's any more in here, but what the hey.